Good morning and happy hump day. We are making it halfway through the week, and I hope you guys are having a great week so far because we're getting in our halfway point and we're going to wrap up the rest of this week in a better way. It is just me again today. Again, our very own Brittany Weir is still out and about doing her thing with stories that she's working on throughout this week. We also have in the building our girl, Rebecca Williams, is in the house. Hey, girl, how you doing?
I'm good.
Okay. How was your day yesterday?
Oh, it was so good. It was beautiful outside. So we went to the Greenway and we walked Martha for she got really tired, so I carried her a lot.
Yeah.
But because she has like tiny little puppy legs.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went out and we walked on the Greenway and then we got ice cream and she got a pup cup. And it was so good.
Ooh, so y'all had a full family day. I love that. Well, I tell you what, we got a lot of cool stories to bring you guys throughout this morning, including this one right here. Let's give you a little hint. Look at the little fuzzy bunny right there.
Look at the little feet.
Yeah, super cute. Now, as Easter gets closer and closer, bunnies have taken over this particular location here. We'll tell you what that location is, and we'll tell you about the rabbit struggle bus, apparently, because this is not necessarily a good thing with the rabbit takeover. So we'll get to that later on in the sprint. But for right now, again, as we were talking about Easter is here. We have a couple people still doing their spring break thing, but we need to get into the gas prices. Apparently, gas is a deal that we got to worry about right now. If you're planning on fueling up before hitting the road for spring break, holiday travel, you will notice those prices are going up. Just the past week, AAA says the prices in Virginia have increased by about 9 cents comparing that to the month ago. They are up about 25 cents. According to Morgan Dean with AAA, there have been a couple of factors at play to push out the gas prices. Now, get this. In the month of March, we go through the change over winter blend gas to summer blend gas. That's another factor. Says this happens every year to put the more environmentally friendly gas in your tanks. It usually pushes up prices between 10 and 20 cents. Also, a lot more people are hitting the roads as the weather gets warmer. That means that the demand are and higher prices. Another factor is that playing a big role is that the prices is over the weekend. Some of the oil-producing countries announced that they are cutting back on some of their output. This means that there is less supply of crude oil and fuel. So there are several different factors that are going into this. Again, nobody likes high gas prices whatsoever, especially when it comes down to traveling. And of course, we'll get into the specifics on the different prices that are happening along the Commonwealth if you go to the story on our website, WSLS.com. But Rebecca, so are you planning on traveling for the holiday?
Yeah, Philip and I are going out of town this weekend.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to filling my tank. I'm one of those people that I wait until I'm like cruising on fumes.
Oh gosh,
I
can't do that. that's dangerous, Rebecca. That's how a lot of scary movies play out.
Well, I do a lot of math in my head, and so I'll calculate. I'll be like, yeah, I have a gallon. That means I have about 15 miles.
Okay.
I'm right on empty today, and I'm going after the sprint to go fill up my tank.
Nathaniel, see, y'all can't do that. See, for me, my mom is very, very paranoid about that. When I was living in San Antonio, she would always say, when you get down to the first little mark, you go gas up. Like, she would always want me
to... Like a quarter of a tank?
Yeah, exactly. She would want me to keep that up because in San Antonio, there was a lot of traffic jams and a lot of people would run out of gas while they were sitting in traffic, and she just didn't want that to happen for me.
That's fair.
So for me, I go to maybe half. Half is my trigger to go get, gas up. But if I'm on a long road trip, I always, when I have a fourth of a tank left, I start looking for a gas station because I don't know what's happening on the roads. I need to make sure
That's
I don't
what
want to be stuck.
my mom always
said
said
to do as
exactly.
well. So, but yeah, either way, whether you get filling up when your tank is almost empty or halfway, those prices are pretty high. So you guys be prepared for that when y'all travel. And speaking of traveling...
Well, wait, you guys tell us, when do you guys fill up for gas?
Right.
Drop it in the comments.
That would be interesting.
You should be able, on the article on our website, there should be a comment forum. And just write in there, when do you guys fill up for gas? Mm-hmm. What is your, red flag mark of need to go fill her up?
Right. Speaking of that, we also want to know when you are updating your passport. I still don't have my passport, but I know a lot of people have their passport. I don't.
Have you ever been out of the country?
I did on a cruise once, but it didn't require me to have a passport.
I'm still waiting for my passport to come back this year.
So that's the thing.
And I sent it in January.
Yeah, if you are looking to travel abroad, first make sure that your passport is good. Apparently delays for a new one may be 4 months long and gets worse. So the U.S. State Department says the delays are from the overwhelming demand for Americans to take international trips. They are also having to restaff positions that were eliminated when passport demand tanked during the pandemic. So if you want to explore the world later this year or in 2024, the time to renew is now. My best friend, Rachel Coulter, she and her family went on a trip to Germany.
Oh,
And I remember how stressful she was stressed out trying to make sure that passport came in on time before the trip started. And it was months. So I can only imagine, the frustration in this, but if you guys have a passport, you got to make sure that thing is renewed, apparently, and get on it right now.
mine is all ready for our honeymoon trip.
Yes. Oh, look at you. Where you going on honeymoon?
Croatia.
Oh, that's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty. So you're good to go on your passport.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, and then Nathaniel, you say you're still waiting on yours?
I'm still waiting on mine, and I'm headed out in May, so
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
thinking I might have to be like, hey, you guys took forever. Give me an emergency travel pass, please.
well, we wish you the best of luck, and anybody out there who are also on the struggle bus, hopefully you get your passports updated and in on time before any of those travels as well. Now, back here at home, we want to give a huge congratulations. I think this is a really cool deal to LewisGale Medical Center. They unveiled their new healthcare technology for our region. The hospital now houses a virtual reality treadmill, which I think is super cool. You're looking at your screen right now.
Huh.
That is like awesome. So the goal is to help physical therapy patients exercise in a fun and interesting way. Medical staff say that it simulates challenges patients may face walking around day to day, and is not only a big help to the patient, but them as well. Says the staff, say that the treadmill also records specific data, giving them the ability to evaluate the patient's progress. So again, if you look at your screen right now, you see there's like the typical belt, but it almost looks like, you know how when you go to one of those arcade games?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you can stand
There's that
and you can-
screen.
like Angry Birds, or you're playing something. But the fact that this is the way technology is going to help people who are in physical therapy, look at her like climbing over rocks or hills or mountains
Like
or something
steps
like that.
and
Yes,
things like that.
that is so cool. So big shout out to LewisGale doing it big, man. It's amazing at what technology has done, especially for people who need that physical therapy, All right, moving on. So check this out. The highly anticipated Highlander Hotel right here has officially opened in Radford. This is something a lot of people are looking forward to right here. Town council members, school leaders, and hotel staff all took part in the ribbon cutting ceremony. $40 million project was made possible through a partnership between the university and several businesses. Has hundreds of rooms and a large event space. Also has a rooftop bar and restaurant called Bee and Butter that is slated to open later this month. So again, congratulations to Radford getting their economic development going on. And again, this Highlander Hotel is something that I know a lot of people have been excited about. So now that it's finally here, boo shakalaka, you got a lot of cool things coming y'all's way.
Yeah, when that rooftop bar opens,
Yes,
call
we
me
gotta
up.
go. Dude, I've only been to one rooftop bar before my entire life, and that was when I went to visit my best friend. Speaking of which, in Charlotte, North Carolina, and she took us there was this upstairs,
Yeah.
bar, and it was so cool because it was just like you get to look over the city, and then it was just relaxing. The weather was perfect, so that's gonna be a hit, man. I think that's
There's one
really
coming
good.
to Roanoke, too.
Oh yeah, let's do it. So let's get to a local business owner who is taking a spotlight online. She's actually got a new season of the hit web series, season 2 of the Hometown Hustle. It's a feel-good reality series by Martinsville-based production company Rudy Girl Media. It's now available online. Creator and host Natalie Hodge was the owner was a co-winner of last year's Gauntlet Business Competition. She used part of her winnings to expand her studio and hire staff to launch the second season. The 10-episode series features small business owners from across the Commonwealth, including Danville, Martinsville, Pennsylvania, Henry, and Halifax County. You can find a link to their YouTube channel at WSLS.com. So this is really cool because, it's just one thing to have an impact around the globe. As she mentioned, if you watched Virginia Today earlier, she was talking about how it's one thing to, be able to have a footprint here locally, but to spread that out throughout the world where people can easily just log on somewhere, click on a link, and watch her series. That's pretty cool. And then the fact that she's highlighting local businesses here is putting our little community on the map as well.
Yeah.
Always a lot of good stuff right there. So right now, if you woke up today, or actually yesterday, like Rebecca was saying, it was beautiful weather yesterday.
Hot.
Today is also going to be apparently a really nice day before the changes come in tomorrow. So with all the specifics on that, let's get to meteorologist Chris Michaels to give us our Hump Day forecast.
Happy Wednesday. It is Hump Day headlines time, where we start out with the warmth that we feel throughout the day today, actually feeling more like June, similar to yesterday. A few isolated storms north of Interstate 64. More scattered storms tomorrow, especially late morning into the afternoon. After that, we turn cooler for the holiday weekend. Occasional showers Good Friday and Saturday. Easter Sunday looks dry with the highs in the 50s and 60s. So lots of changes to track. We'll keep you posted every step of the way. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your time on the Sprint.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. And hold on to make sure. Sorry, I was muted. Thank you so much, Chris. Of course, thank you for giving us our forecast right there. And make sure you guys download that weather app to be in the know about what's happening, especially ahead of the holiday. So we got some real fun stories to get to right now. With that, I'm going to let Rebecca kick it off first.
Yeah, so sheriff's deputies in Ohio saving lives one goat at a time.
Old goat.
The sheriff's office received a call about a herd of goats running near an interstate. When they got there, they found just 2 lonely goats, but they were lost.
Yeah, so the deputies apparently rescued them from the busy
Aw.
street, and the animals are now safe at a local farm. So if you're looking at your screen right now, you can see there are really some nice, handsome-looking goats too.
I'm really sad that script didn't have bad situation reference in it.
Yeah, I mean, it could have definitely been one because, anytime when you have like animals make their way on an interstate, that is always a terrifying thing for both the animal and the driver, because sometimes drivers, you can't see it. Next thing you know, boom, something awful happens.
Or they look like they're not gonna, like they're not in your lane,
Exactly.
and then at the last minute they do a little dart, and you're like, oh no!
Yes, and the fact that, and that's why I say, I think that this is also not only the help from the deputies for coming in and rescuing them, but shout out to the drivers who were just like not being rude about it. I'm pretty sure there are people who are pausing when they need to pause, let the goats do their thing when they need to let them do them. So
I would love to hear that phone call though.
yes, we
Like, I imagine someone calls like the police station, not 911, but like, just like, there's some goats out here on like 81.
Yes, and they
Like-
they were like, they said that they thought it was a herd of goats. So
And
can
they're
you
just
imagine
like,
their mindset thinking
these
that it
two
was like a
little-
ton of goats and it was just 2?
These 2 little lonely goats driving down the interstate, just like, hey, I'm trying to get to Cincinnati. Like,
So fortunately, that was just 2 goats. But get this, if you had more than 2 different animals that you had to deal with, and when I mean more than 2 different animals, I'm talking in the 90s. Let's get to this particular story. It says
Aw.
California Park becoming a safe haven for rabbits. The only Sunshine Sanctuary has rescued dozens of rabbits being dropped off at a Citrus Heights Park. This is the story that we were teasing earlier, you guys, to let you know that, yeah, this is cute and all. There's a reason why this is not such a good thing.
yeah, so more than 90 rabbits live or inhabit this park because their owners left them there. And I imagine the owners left probably like 1 or 2, and then, rabbits, they just kind of multiply. But it's gotten so bad that the park had to put up signs telling people that
Yeah.
leaving rabbits at the park is illegal.
Right, so you want to think the best case scenario that, yeah, the rabbits were multiplying among themselves, but unfortunately, some of the rabbits that were surrendered, or I'd say most of them, were people who were just dropping it off. So local animal shelters being unwilling to accept the unwanted rabbits is making the park even more vulnerable to these drop-offs.
Yeah, and animal rescue groups are concerned that with the Easter holiday, we all talk about the Easter bunny, it'll lead to more bunnies being gifted as pets, but then when these bunnies get older and bigger and people
Yeah.
realize the actual care that they require, more bunnies will be dropped off.
Right, so hopefully, if you have an
good.
animal,
Just
take
just
care
be a
of
good
it.
human.
Exactly, take care of the animal, and it's the fact that they're
look at
dealing
him
with
digging.
so many rabbits. That's just and I can only imagine how that's going on the workers, because if you got over 90 animals, just think
I mean,
about
how do you catch them all?
Exactly, especially when they're just running all over the place. So, it's sad that this is happening, but hopefully people will see this news story and chill out with the drop-offs and try to be a responsible pet parent.
I mean, I've tried to catch bunnies like in my yard back home where growing up, and those
Yeah.
things are fast.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Pets do not make good presence for
Yeah.
small children.
No, 100%. That's what people tend to do. So yeah, let us know what you guys think about the story. And are you a rabbit lover? Like, anything like that. I know every time I used to go into Petco, it used to be really cool walking by like the little the ink casings that the rabbits
Oh,
would be in
yeah.
because they were so sweet. And
I like the little ferrets.
yeah, I used to have a ferret actually.
No, you did not.
I did. His name was Punk.
Punk?
And let's say he was an all-white ferret named Punk, and I used to do a
Aw.
little mohawk on his head. So he was my baby.
Poor baby.
Mom said he ran away. I don't know.
No.
I don't know what happened. I just know I had to go to
Jackie's mom, if you're watching this, we need the story.
No. So let's go ahead and move on over to what I think if Brittany Weir was here, something that she would
She'd be all over this.
all over this story. So the trailer for the Barbie movie is out. We got to see Margot Robbie as the iconic doll comes to life, just like on store shelves. In the film, as many and are many Barbies. If you just take a look at this video right now, just listen to it. It seems cool.
My
Really?
entire life, I've wanted to be a blonde. My hair is just so dark, I can never get it that light.
Yeah.
So that was, I actually did not, I always had the brunette Barbies because I was like, I'm a brunette.
Yeah, so see, I wasn't, okay, so you remember I told you, I remember Ken, the Ken dolls that I would always
He
see
had brown hair.
brown hair.
Brown hair.
I don't remember it being that, was that bleach blonde right
Ken-
there?
It's like platinum blonde.
Yes.
I always saw brown hair
I
Ken
did
as well.
Never, I mean, give me the Ken from Toy Story 3.
Yes, there you go.
Give me that version
Forgot
of
about
Ken.
that. Okay, let's bring in some Jazzy Jazz right now. Let me get her on the phone, get her turned up. Hey, Jazz, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So, were you a Barbie fan growing up?
No, girl, I was Bratz.
Hey, oh, look,
Hey!
I forgot about Brad.
dolls.
Yeah, I loved Bratz when I was little.
Yeah.
Their entire feet came off.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay, I can see you being a brat kind of girl. So even watching the commercials, that's something that you would be interested in watching, or are you just waiting for a brat movie to come out?
I think it's cute. I think it's cute that they're bringing it back. It's got some big names in there. Got Issa Rae. I think it's cute that they're bringing it back, and I'll probably go. I wouldn't go to the movies to go watch it, but I'll
Right.
probably wait till it comes out and then watch it.
Right, no, I get you. So, get this, Jazz. We had a lot of cool things happening here locally, a lot of cool businesses opening up and stuff, and I think that's something we definitely need to highlight on the sprint, just to show what our community is doing growth-wise, but also, with that gas prices that's going up. Are you traveling? Are you traveling for the holiday?
No, I'm not traveling for the holidays, but I do definitely. I feel the gas prices going up every time that goes up. I feel it with my little Dodge Charger.
Aw.
What time do you typically? What triggers you to fill up? Is it a half a tank? Is it right on the fumes? Like, where do you typically go?
I have anxiety, so I have to do half a tank.
Thank
Or
you.
if I have like a quarter tank left, but usually it's half.
See, we're together on that, Jess. See, we're twins, man. So do we have any comments today or any viewers?
We have viewers, no comments today. As always, if you guys want to join the discussion, just leave a comment in the comment forum, right in the article that I post each morning.
Definitely.
It's easy to do, and it's definitely a good way to get involved in the conversation.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Jazz. As always, you are a beautiful girl.
Thank you.
All right, girl. We'll talk later. All right, guys. So before we head out of here, we got to give you some headlines of the day that you need to keep in mind moving forward in our later newscasts, including our 10 news at noon. Get this. Investigation continues as deputies say that a man shot a woman multiple times in Henry County. Police say the 46-year-old Calvin Cabanis, which you see right there on your screen, was arrested in connection with the shooting. He's currently being held in the Henry County Adult Detention Center without bond. Plus, hundreds of thousands of Medicaid recipients in the Commonwealth are at risk of losing their coverage. Protection during the COVID-19 pandemic that prevented the states from ending the coverage if participants no longer qualified have now come to an end. We're told that nearly 300,000 Virginians are expected to lose their eligibility. And last but not least, for the first time, we are hearing from the heroic police officers who responded to that deadly mass shooting last week where a woman who identifies as a man shot and killed 3 children and 3 adults at a Christian school in Nashville. Awful story that we've been covering for days now, but police say that shooting was targeted. And look at the officers, though, and how they stopped the shooting before it got worst. So make sure you guys be following our later newscasts throughout the day and also online at WSLS.com. We always have those updates for you and any kind of stories that you guys are interested in. And always know that if you have something, especially on the morning sprint, anything positive that you want to talk about or see highlighted, please send it to us through our email or through that form, because we would love to showcase it. That's what this program is all about, is giving you a chance to smile in a already hectic news cycle. Rebecca, you got anything, girl?
Nope, I'm all good to go.
You all good and go? Nathaniel, you got anything, brother?
I'm all good.
You all good to go? All right, guys. Well, with that being said, thank you for joining us on our Hump Day edition of the Morning Sprint. We'll be back here again tomorrow at 8 o'clock at WSLS.com. Be there. See you there again on the Morning Sprint.